How's everyone doing? Today I have a horror Blu-ray collection update, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below, and there's only 4 here, so it's going to be a quick update, but I have a few orders coming, so there's going to be some bigger updates slash hauls, and I enjoy talking about the movies in the haul, so I'm not just going to show the movie, even if I haven't seen it. I feel like there's something that I can say about why I picked it up or why I was interested in it, or something that I liked from the other director or actors involved. So there's also going to be a bunch of other videos, unboxing videos, and a couple top 10s and stuff like that. And of course, the Halloween collaboration video with the movie community on here at the end of the month. So a lot of horror content to come, and I might do a pumpkin beer review. And I'm looking for some pumpkin food stuff. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I know there's a new like ghost pepper Halloween Whopper at Burger King. I'm not really that into ghost peppers or things that spicy. Like, I just feel like it's like when you were a kid and you blasted your music in your car and you thought you were real cool. I feel like that's the same way with those kind of like, Reaper peppers and ghost peppers and stuff like that. You can't really enjoy the hotness on that level. I just feel like you're just trying to be cool and show off. I don't know. That's what I think anyways. I just feel like to that degree, it's just too much in my opinion, but I might give that one a chance. I might need a lot of milk, I think is what you do for the peppers, but I digress. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up is Orphan First Kill, and I will be doing an unboxing for this, just a quick one, and I will be talking about it a little bit more, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway for the digital copy once I do the unboxing to promote the unboxing. And I feel like people seem to like the digital copy giveaways, so I'll probably do more of those too. I have one physical media giveaway that I plan on doing this month, but maybe a couple digital copy ones. But this is actually a decent prequel movie to the first Orphan movie, which was 13 years ago now, by the way, which is mind-blowing. I will say my biggest issue was with the way the lead actress looks. I just feel like, first of all, I think she's 25 now, I believe, but she was 23 when she filmed it. And to me, she looks a lot older, and especially to be this character. But her character is actually supposed to be like in her 30s, so I guess it kind of works, but I was kind of shocked by that. And I've seen memes like going around with her pictures, like when you try to get on the kids menu and you look like that. But it's basically about her, Esther, and then in a psychiatric ward in Estonia, and she escapes and goes to America pretending to be somebody's like lost kid that they haven't seen in years. And I like the supporting cast in here a lot too. I think they did a good job. But yeah, I was really it's a mixed bag. It's not great. Julia Stiles, I wish they did a better job of, saying the names of people on here. It's so minute and you can't really see. I feel like you're actually seeing it better on here, but that's Julia Stiles. I used to have a crush on her back in the day, but she plays the mother. But there's things that you can kind of take a couple guesses at how things are going to play out. But I actually really liked what they did with it. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. I feel like they played it a little bit safe, but I like the psychological elements going on, the back and forth. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I'd like to see another Orphan movie. And don't wait as long. I mean, I think that was the biggest issue. They waited so long. But yeah, so you find out more about the daughter's disappearance and things like that. And there's detectives trying to figure things out. And, psychologists and stuff too. And then there's the artwork thing was actually really cool too, with like the blacklight. But I think it wasn't great, but I thought it was good. Mixed bag again, but I definitely liked the kind of like twist element going on in the back and forth with that. I thought that was intriguing and something you don't see too often. So I dug that aspect, but go in with tempered expectations. But yeah, that's one thing too. I remember Twilight Time used to always have on the back of their cases everything boxed off, all the technical aspects, the cast and runtime and language and everything like that, the year, and it was kind of like bold and easy to see. And I wish more companies would do that. I don't know, just mini rant on that one. But this is from Paramount too, and I wish they would have had some special features in here too. So that's another thing that I wanted to know, especially how they worked her height. I didn't look into that, but I don't know if it's some kind of putting her face digitally onto somebody else's body, which they've done in other movies, like Little Man, for instance, which was a crazy Wayne's brother movie, but they've done it for other movies too. So I wanted to see how they worked that element, because I looked up her height and she's obviously taller than what she appears to be here. Next up from Mill Creek is the Skulls trilogy. Now, I've only seen the first one. I want to say too, An Orphan First Kill is directed by William Brent Bell, who directed Where, which is an underrated werewolf movie, and then The Boy 1 and 2, which I didn't care for either one of those, especially the second one. But he also did The Devil Inside, which I think is actually an underrated possession exorcism kind of movie. So kind of a mixed bag with his movies too, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what he does in the future, because I think he does have some really good ideas and unique perspectives for some of his films. This one, I feel like they played it safe in certain aspects and I wanted more from it, but there's also things that I liked. So a mixed bag on it, but I would say, you know, check it out if you were a fan of the first one. I love the first Orphan movie, and the lead actress was so good as like a child actor. Usually child actors annoy me, but she was like perfect for that role. Here, I feel like, I don't know, she looks, I don't know, a little bit too old for the concept of it. But Skull's Trilogy, I've only seen the first one. This is directed by Rob Cohen, who worked with Paul Walker on the first Fast and the Furious movie. He did a bunch of other action movies and stuff too, but I'm looking forward to seeing the sequels. But it's been a long time since I've seen the first one, maybe like when it first came out, which I want to say was year 2000. Of course, you can't see right there because it's so minute, minuscule. But yeah, I remember Pacey in here and Paul Walker, and then there was William Peterson from CSI, To Live and Die in LA, and Manhunter, which are like my three favorite things that he's done. He's been in a ton of stuff, but Coach is in here. There's a bunch of recognizable people, but he's basically like pledging this secret fraternity, and he finds out that he gets in over his head, Pacey's character. And I remember it being, you know, some good thrills in there and some back and forth and cat and mouse kind of games, and very suspenseful. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that one and then checking out the other two. But I was in a fraternity in college, and we didn't have to do anything like they had to do in here. There was no crazy violence or murders or anything, like, thankfully. But yeah, so a lot of crazy things are happening in here, and he has to get to the bottom of some of these mysteries and terrible things that happen to certain people. But I remember really liking the tension and how everything comes together at the end. I remember it being pretty satisfying. So definitely happy to add this set to the collection. So thank you, Mill Creek, for releasing this one right here. They all are on one disc. You know, maybe the first one could have been on a separate disc, but these are kind of like budget buys. I feel like Mill Creek for the longest time had budget buys, but I also feel like they've elevated their game, especially with the retro VHS slipcovers. I feel like if that was like Scream Factory or another company, they would be charging like 25, 30 bucks instead of like 10 and under. And then their TV game has always been good, but they've lately like even ramped that up and elevated that. So their packaging has been a lot better in those regards. And next up is Clown, and this is directed by John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man home movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, and then Cop Car. So I think he's a really talented director, and it's interesting how he went from Clown to, you know, the Spider-Man movies, which is wild. I remember when the trailer for this was first leaked, before it was completed, just like the short trailer, and he put Eli Roth's name on it, and it just blew up on the internet. And Eli Roth at the time had nothing to do with that, but he reached out to John Watts, and then they decided to make a feature film on it. And a lot of people are mistaken, thinking that Eli Roth directed it. He's just a producer on here, and John Watts was a marketing genius with doing that. Again, going from Clown, you know, low budget horror, to one of the most popular and biggest franchises out there. I prefer Clown over the Spider-Man movies myself. This is creepy and weird. There's like a cursed clown costume. It's been a while since I've seen this one, and he wants to dress up for his kid's birthday, and he becomes more and more like this creepy clown. And it's wild and interesting and unique, and I freaking love it. And I wish John Watts would do more in the horror realm, and I'm looking forward to revisiting this one. So it's written by Christopher Ford and John Watts, and then directed by John Watts. And Eli Roth is just the producer. You can see at the top, from Master of Terror, Eli Roth. But I love that slipcover too. We got some embossing on the eyes and stuff. So that is pretty cool. And then down the bottom, it does say, directed by John Watts. So I feel like that catches people's eyes. And then the trailer initially with Eli Roth attached to it. But I remember that one being really creepy, so I'm excited to revisit it. Next up is Charlie's Farm, which is an Australian slasher movie. Don't go to Charlie's Farm. Nathan Jones, who was a wrestler, plays the Charlie character. 7 foot, 375 pounds of pure Aussie killing machine. This actually has Tara Reid, and I don't think Tara Reid's a great actress outside of, you know, the small kind of like girlfriend roles, and she played some like ditzy character roles. But outside, you know, Sharknado like revived her career and stuff, but she's been in so many movies, like low budget stuff, that was rough to sit through. And I didn't love her in this one. So I don't know. I feel like people who are a fan of her might appreciate this a little bit more. I did a review for this like 6 years ago, I want to say, and maybe more than that now. But I remember being like kind of a mixed bag. Like I liked some of the kills and some of the. You also get to see Kane Hodder in here and Bill Moseley and a few other recognizable people. So I thought that was cool, and I wanted more from those elements, but it also kind of felt like thrown in a bit too. But I remember the score being pretty good in here too. And I remember, I remember mentioning that. I think in my review, I said it was a decent score, and the guy who wrote the score, the composer, like commented, "Thanks for the decent score approval," something like that. But I do remember that being like one of the highlights for the film, and it definitely enhanced a lot of the scenes. But again, some really good gore, but it's very formulaic. A group of friends get lost in the outback, and then they, end up encountering big old Charlie. But it's been a while since I've seen this one. Again, 6 or 7 years now. So looking forward to revisiting it. And this is a UK release right here, and it is region free. So it does say region B, but it is actually region free. There are some really good Australian movies. I'm going to do a underrated Australian horror movies. Like everybody thinks of like Wolf Creek, The Babadook, Patrick, Picnic and Hanging Rock, Long Weekend, movies like that. That's got a big fan following and that are well known. But I feel like other movies like Lake Mungo, still a little bit under the radar, which is like my favorite found footage movie. And then there's Road Games, which recently got a couple of releases. I got the Australian release from Umbrella, and then Scream Factory released it. And since that's one of my favorites, I picked up the Scream Factory release as well as the Umbrella release. But I love the heck out of that one. That one always had a Hitchcockian feel with Stacy Keach and then Jamie Lee Curtis in there. But a few other ones that I think are really good were The Loved Ones, which desperately needs a Blu-ray release here in the US that only has a DVD release. But there are a few, maybe I shouldn't tell you the rest, but there are some other really good ones that I think deserve more love and attention. So look forward to a top 10 underrated Australian horror. You know what? I'm going to tell you another one that I feel like people should check out, and that is Storm Warning. I love that one. That one has some brutal, awesome kills, and nobody talks about it. Hounds of Love is another one. There's Black Water too. I always get mixed up with Dark Water. But yeah, that's another good Australian one that came out like right around the same time as Rogue, and Rogue got so much more popularity and overshadowed. And then Blackwater got a sequel recently, and that was terrible. But yeah, so look forward to videos talking about Australian horror movies. Let me know what your favorite Australian horror movie is. Even Wolf Creek 2 was pretty awesome. And I got to interview John Jarrett for another movie that he did, and it was a really brief interview, but it was cool to do that. At the time, it was like my first well-known popular actor that I interviewed. But yeah, let me know what you think is the best underrated Australian horror movie too. So maybe I can, find some ones out from you guys I can put on my list and check out. But there you go. Those are the 4 pickups. Definitely let me know if you've seen any of these and what you think of them. And let me know which one of these is your favorite. Again, there are these 3 that I've seen a while ago and I'm looking forward to revisiting. And then this one right here just came out. And again, mixed bag. I remember really enjoying this one. This one I loved, and this one was a bit of a mixed bag too, but I want to revisit it to see maybe if it gets a little bit better. Again, I appreciate certain things about it. I just think some of the acting really kind of brought it down a bit. That was like one of my biggest criticisms for the movie, and that it was kind of really formulaic too. But Nathan Jones was awesome. The kills were awesome. Really good score too. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Look forward to more videos coming up in the future. Again, pumpkin beer review, maybe a pumpkin food review, maybe that Ghost Pepper Halloween Whopper, a bunch more horror Blu-ray and 4K updates coming soon. A bunch of those for sure. I'm going to do another one of the monster updates too afterwards, because I'm going to have a bunch piled up, and people like to see that, compilation one. I feel like there's a resurgence of those, monthly pickup videos, even though you've seen them already, but you like to see them in the big monster haul. So look forward to all that good stuff. And then also follow my 31 days of Halloween playlist I got going on here in case you missed a video, or if you want to see the videos coming up in the future. So check that out. And thank you for all the support on here. I really do appreciate it. You guys rock. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care and keep it spooky.